The stage is set. The two largest social media heavyweights are meeting in the ring. Head to head, Robot Boy versus Mr. X, ready to duke it out. To see who's the strongest social media owner or something. In the blue corner, weighing in at 154 pounds, the man that knows when you're sleeping, Mark the Peeping Zuckerberg.
Get your ass kicked.
And also, in the other blue corner, weighing in at a whopping 200 pounds, the Western Elon the Electric Messiah Musk. The owner of SpaceX, Tesla, the mind-reading company, and the company that reinvented the subway, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. And whilst he's been constantly in the public eye over the last decade,
I think X.com could absolutely be a multi-billion-dollar bonanza.
But in recent years, his popularity has skyrocketed and has captivated an audience of devout followers. Musk was at the forefront of the EV boom, and whilst his name will always be associated with Tesla, a lot of his media headlines come from the dumb shit he says and does, especially on Twitter. On the social media site, he likes to dabble in politics, speculate on the future of his companies, and pump and dump crypto, like all current influencers like to do.
So it's a hustle. Yeah, it's a hustle. To the moon!
But due to his rampant Twitter addiction, he didn't like the direction the woke libs were taking the site, and as a free speech absolutist, when it suits him, there was only one thing he could do: buy the money-bleeding site. Zuck, on the other hand, holds a more reserved lifestyle. Being the ruler of the largest social media site in the world, he only lets the people see what he wants them to see. And whilst they are both widely disliked by the general masses, Zuck doesn't seem to have a cult following like Musk. Often referred to as a robot or lizard,
I am not a lizard.
he seems to be mimicking human characteristics rather than them being natural. With all the scandals that Facebook has been linked to, Zuck has a reputation of being Big Brother, watching over his people, analysing their data and understanding them through statistics, rather than what they say and do.
But who I want to fight? Mark Zuckerberg? Lad, I'm going to punch your head in. I'm sick of you, lad.
Due to this, Zuck is often clowned on and doesn't garner much respect. But when he saw an opportunity to take down Musk, he pounced, creating his own version of Twitter, kicking off the possibility of a fight.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Threads is the newest social media app on the App Store, threatening to snatch the turd-shaped crown from Twitter's head. Owned by Meta's Lizard King, Peepin' Mark, Threads has racked up over 100 million downloads in its first week, and is being labelled Twitter without Elon. The launch of Threads was a surprise to many, releasing on the 6th of July 2023, and previously only known as Project 92 beforehand. This comes after Muskman bought Twitter in 2022 for $44 billion before taking over as CEO and fumbling a number of updates that he thought would help the website. The blue checkmarks cried out in terror over the announcement, but were all suddenly silenced as the barrel-bellied billionaire put a paywall between them and their relevancy. In his first week, he put Twitter into eco mode by axing 50% of the workforce. A combination of the iced matcha meeting makers and the actual engineers that made Twitter run. This had immediate effects on the website, and it began to have daily outages with no one left to fix them. The Zuck snatched up any of the valuable employees as Tesla Boy tried to round them back up, knowing he'd made a mistake. This is when the advertisers started pulling out. Drunk on power and free speech, Elon unbanned almost everyone from Twitter. Many grew concerned over Musk's erratic decisions, and Twitter's revenue went down almost 40% year over year. Mark the Shark could smell blood in the water, and it was his time to pounce. Meta had actually tried releasing Threads before. Between 2019 and 2021, Threads was a Snapchat clone, but it never took off. With only 200,000 downloads, before long, Meta killed the app. But now, it was back, this time as a Twitter clone, and with Elon clipping the blue pigeon's wings and leaving it in a cattery, Meta knew they had a chance of putting their authoritarian boot on the bird's metaphorical neck and crushing its skull. The team only spent 6 months working on the app, but after Marsman came up with another 4D bird brain idea to limit users' number of tweets that could be viewed each day, the Smoking Meats maestro
Smoking these meats here.
shot out his red-hot threads all over the App Store. Within the first 16 hours, they had over 30 million downloads, becoming the fastest downloaded app in history. The Twitter user base dropped by over 7% during the first few days of the release, and they immediately threatened Meta with a lawsuit, claiming that their fired engineers had leaked trade secrets to help build the app. But Big Brother Zuck claimed that no Twitter engineers worked on the creation of the app at all. The beef between the two internet police officers has started long before Elon joined the ranks. Back in 2016, a SpaceX rocket was carrying on a satellite owned by Zuck when it fucking exploded before takeoff. Mark was very disappointed by this news, and his plans to get every remote tribe in Africa their own Facebook page had to be put on hold. Every few years, the nerds would take jabs at each other from their own social media platforms. But it wasn't until Threads was announced that the cringe level reached a peak. Elon tweeted, "I'm sure Earth can't wait to be exclusively under Zuck's thumb." And after being warned that Zuck does jujitsu, Elon announced that he was up for a cage match. Zuck took to Instagram and responded with,
"Just send me location."
For the last 18 months, Robot Boy had been uploading martial arts to his onboard memory, and recently won a gold and silver trophy during a competition. But Musk, on the other hand, had a large weight advantage over Mark. But eventually, location would be sent. Vegas Octagon. Whilst this all seemed like a bit of shit talking over Mark's new platform, behind the scenes, people were actually trying to get the ball rolling in the fight. President of the UFC, Dana White, was in constant communication with both of the tech billionaires and was trying to see how serious each of them were. To Dana, it seemed like Mark was very keen. He'd been doing lots of training and was fighting fit. Elon, on the other hand, had never fought and never planned on working out. Eventually, Elon's mom stepped in to save her overweight baby from humiliation by claiming that she would not let the fight happen. But then, news spread that the Italian Minister of Culture had reached out to the pair, and he wanted the fight to go down in the Roman Colosseum. This was eventually all revealed to be rumors, but Musk seemed down to battle in Rome. From here on, the fight plan slowly devolved into online bickering. First, Musk announced the fight would be live streamed on X, but Zuck recommended streaming it on a more reliable platform and suggested fighting on the 26th of August. Then, Musk claimed he might need surgery on his neck and back before he could fight, and texted Mark, asking for a practice fight in Mark's back garden. Mark replied telling him to practice on his own and let him know when he was ready, but he's going to stop talking about all this now, believing that it'll never happen, and he doesn't want to continue feeding into the hype. Musk often brings up the topic, but as the user base of Threads continue to drop lower than 10% of its all-time peak, Elon is less threatened by his rival.
I'm not afraid anymore!
And the chance of the two ever fighting rests solely on Elon's shoulders.